The thing was burned in the backyard. My name was forged to get the payoff and information.
You just lied to the court. You just lied to the court.
I did not. No, you signed this, Miss Ailey.
Go on the record in the matter 22 FA45 in re the marriage of Timothy Ainley and Rachel Ainley. Appearances are we have both parties appearing in person without counsel. We're set here today in this matter for a contempt hearing. We were here previously on November 8th, 2024, in which we had a little bit of a hearing, and the parties were instructed to bring all evidence and information for the court to present here today. At the last hearing, Ms. Ainley informed the court that she was prepared to proceed with an accepted offer of the house for November 22nd for tomorrow to sell the house. And she needed Mr. Ainley to sign off on everything. And that's why the court scheduled the final hearing for today. Mr. Ainley, this is your contempt hearing. And so you have the burden of proof. I'm going to have both parties stand, raise your right hands, be sworn in. Mr. Ainley, at the previous hearing, you had indicated that there was a list of property that you stated that you had left at the marital residence and either was just left there and you had not yet received, or that Ms. Ainley had destroyed and that you wanted compensation for, and you were going to inform the court of that property and of the value that you were seeking. You may begin with your testimony.
Yes, ma'am. After the divorce was final, we came to an agreement that day on everything that was supposed to be surrendered to me, and she agreed on that. Well, being that there was a restraining order, no contact order in place, I had to come to court and get a court date set. It was signed by Commissioner Krupa for 2 days on a Friday and on a Saturday and Sunday to go retrieve my property. And the agreement was she was not to be on the property or on the property when she was supposed to have everything staged in the driveway with all my personal property. And I went out that day and some of the items were out in the driveway, and I pulled in and started getting stuff. Here she comes. She had her boyfriend or whatever, fiance, whatever, it doesn't matter, but she was there, and I automatically just had an anxiety attack. So I just got what was in the driveway, left, and therefore I couldn't go back the next day because, I mean, she was there, and that was, that was a violation. Really, I couldn't go back. She was there, and to my knowledge, she refused to let me go to the property while she is not there and not have access to anything that is in the home or my personal belongings or my four-wheelers and everything like that, and my pontoon, my chainsaw. I had I got a list here of stuff that was, and I did retrieve a few things, and what was there was damaged and beyond repair. I mean, it was destroyed. The hole drilled through the block of the four-wheeler, the lawnmower. I mean, everything I had was just what I got. We did retrieve that was in the driveway was totally destroyed. And the order from Commissioner Krupa that she was not supposed to be there. She was, I mean, that was just a setup for me to go back to jail again by.
So far, he's claimed that she not only destroyed his belongings, but also refused to leave the house, forcing him to violate an order just to retrieve his things. But that's only the beginning. It gets much worse. As the truth unfolds, luckily for him, the judge isn't putting up with her behavior and even calls her out on her lies. As we'll see later, the ex-wife lies and gets exposed.
First, Ms. Hess, formerly known as Ms. Ainley. Were you at the property when Mr. Ainley went to retrieve his?
I was in the house, yes.
Why were you at the property?
I had nowhere to go, and I had to get his stuff out.
You were specifically told at the hearing with Commissioner Krupa on September 28th, 2023, that you were not to be anywhere on that physical property.
I didn't have a choice.
You did have a choice because Commissioner Krupa said not to be on that physical property, not to be on that residence at all.
I didn't have no idea what time he was supposed to even be coming.
It
Was I supposed to
says,
stay gone all day?
you did know, and I can tell you right now you did know because it says pickup times September 30th, 2023 between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. and October 1st, 2023 between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. So you knew exactly when he was going to be there. Exactly.
Leaving his stuff out there, he's already saying it was damaged.
You just lied to the court. You just lied to the
I
court.
did not know.
You did know. You did know. That's
He
physically.
didn't show up. No, he did not show up when he was supposed to. There was time set in June for him to come. He didn't show. I didn't know if he was going to show or not. I wasn't going to take a chance of leaving his stuff sitting out there.
Mr. Ainley,
Your Honor, if it need be, I've got two witnesses that came with me with two trailers to load my personal property up. Her and her ex-fiance was out there. Her middle son, Dylan, was out there. They were all out there. She walked up and down the driveway following me, trying to talk to me. So that's all I got to say. She was there. She knew the date. She knew the time. I was there about 10 minutes after I think it was I really can't recall the exact time on the
Mr. Ainley,
clock.
I believe she knew the date. I believe she knew the time. She just lied to the court.
Yes,
I do
ma'am.
not find her credible at all.
Yes, ma'am.
Continue.
All right, this is a list of my personal property. All my clothing, all my suits, my dress slacks, everything from hunting, winter, everything was burned in the backyard.
Ms. Ainley, what would you like to say?
All of his belongings that he did leave I haven't touched anything.
But
His generator.
But here's the thing. Again, I fully instructed both of you, and I'm going to guess you don't have pictures or documentation of their condition.
No.
And
It's
so
the same
I'm
way
going
he
to take
left it.
testimony from both of you, and so far I found you not credible.
All of anything and everything that I needed to live an everyday life was gone. Everything on this list I never received. I did receive the pontoon boat.
All right, now what else are you asking for?
Okay, I'm also asking for reimbursement of all of the reinstatement fees that I've had to pay for the mortgage payments and legal fees. The property was really, really close to being foreclosed on. I mean, within days, and I wasn't aware of this. The mortgage is just in my name because Rachel couldn't have her name on anything. She had so many judgments against her. So it's just in my name. The mortgage is through Cross Country Mortgage. I've got a reinstatement amount here that is paid. It's $10,059.40. That is current. And
you're saying that you paid this amount to keep it from going into foreclosure?
not the total amount, no ma'am. Part of it went on the back of the loan. I have copies of the payoffs here, 3 copies and with the legal fees that I had tacked on here that's going on the loan that I don't feel that I should be responsible for because I pulled it out of foreclosure and I've been making the payments for the last probably 7 or 8 months. I've got everything here.
Which are what?
I've got my bank statement payments where I've made the payments on
Exhibit 5, your bank statements. Yes, that's what you're asking for?
yes, ma'am. And then this is copies of the payoff. I mean, it shows I've got 3 copies of this also. It's going to be needed here in a few minutes.
What I'm looking at.
I've received 5 letters in the mail from mortgage companies and lending companies stating what the payoff is where they requested payoffs on the loan. And my loan and mortgage information was all sealed. No one had access to it at all because My ex-wife here tried to get in to find out a payoff on it about 6 months ago, and they told her, no, you can't. Tim's going to have to get that for you. So anyways, I got 5 letters in the mail from 5 different loan companies and a title company stating that someone requested the payoff. So I got a letter from 5 different companies for people that requested the payoff, and they sent it to them. So I called them yesterday and find out why, and they said, well, you signed a release form on November the 5th of this month to release information for your payoff. I said, no, ma'am, I did not. And I said, ask her if she could email that to me. She said, yes. So she emailed it to me, and my name has been forged on this paper. It is not my signature. And the owner is not Rachel Ainley as far as the loan goes, what's on the loan mortgage papers. So she forged my name on this paper to get the payoffs on my personal information.
Who did? Ainley, please be quiet.
My ex-wife has signed my name multiple times when we were married. I gave her permission to do that when we were married. Nobody else knows my social security number but her. She knows it by heart. And on the November the 5th this year, she signed my name for release of my personal information on my banking information. It's I'm pretty upset about this. I mean, it's like a total breach of my confidentiality and everything else in my personal business. The lady called me yesterday from a title company. Let me get I'm just nervous. A lady called me yesterday from a title company. She said, Mr. Ainley, we have a check for dividends for the sale of your property on North Boston Road. I said, a check for what? She said, well, we're closing on that on the 23rd. I said, absolutely not. This is in legal issues right now. I said, no. I said, I'm not getting a check. So, anyways, I told her my name was forged to get the payoff and the information on this mortgage. And so she didn't say anything else. She hung up. But in the meantime, I'm in the house. I've got a paper here from Leon from Grasswood Realty where she refused a $197,000 offer a few months back.
And that is exhibit number 3.
This is not my signature.
And it looks like Timothy Ainley on 11/5/24, and then it's Rachel Ainley on 11/5/24 for social security numbers. That is not your signature.
No, ma'am.
You did not sign that authorization to obtain information.
Absolutely not. This was signed 3 days before we had our court hearing on the 8th of this month when you postponed the court date to today.
I'm going to tell you that I'm looking at the dates and the social security numbers as they're written, and they look exactly like they're written by Miss Ainley. The dates and the social security numbers as written, the dates are identical. I'm not a handwriting expert, not one who has went to school, but I'm going to tell you just by looking at it, Miss Ainley, I'm going to tell you, you did this.
No, ma'am.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Where would I have signed it? I haven't been anywhere to sign anything.
Your name is signed on this.
I'm not
These
Rachel
dates are
Ainley.
Stop talking over me. You did this, Miss Ainley. You signed this, Miss Ainley.
didn't.
You signed this. You did this.
No, ma'am. I promise you I didn't.
Oh, you can promise all you want. You are not credible.
Okay.
You did this.
Okay.
These dates are the same. This 11/5/24 dates are the same.
They're not, though.
They're the same.
You can call Katie. I'm not the one signed.
I can call Katie?
Yes, ma'am. I did not sign.
You didn't sign in front of Katie.
I didn't sign at all.
Oh, so somebody forged your name
Ma'am,
too?
I have not signed anything. I was supposed to sign with the title company on Wednesday, and I didn't.
Oh, so I have 2 fraudulent transactions here. Somebody forged your name, your
Yes,
social
ma'am.
security number, and yours. That's good. I need to let the district attorney know right now. We have 2 fraudulent transactions done. Not only do we have it for you, Mr. Ainley, but we have it for Mrs. Ainley too.
I mean, you could check the signature.
His things wasn't enough. She went as far as forging his signature, then lied about both when confronted. But unfortunately for her, this judge isn't buying any of it now. This man is finally about to get the justice he deserves.
I wouldn't have gotten these letters from these loan companies, from my mortgage company stating that these 5 lenders requested my payoff information. I would have never known that there was any type of fraudulent activity going on at all.
It's not fraudulent.
I'm looking at 22 CV88, Rachel Ainley versus Timothy Ainley. Your injunction request that you filled out, the signatures look almost identical.
Almost.
Almost identical.
They're not me, I promise. Forging signatures, risking getting felonies, no, not worth it. I'd walk away from the house before I do that. I'm not stupid.
Almost identical. The signature Rachel Ainley on 22 CV87, 22 CV88. Rachel Ainley signature almost identical.
Almost. It's not me.
You can't sign your name the exact same every way. I don't sign my name the exact same every way, Miss Ainley.
I didn't say that. But it wasn't me. I'm not an Ainley. I wouldn't sign Ainley.
It says Rachel Ainley.
Exactly.
Because you want to know what? Rachel Ainley owns the house, not Rachel Hess. So you have to sign it Rachel Ainley.
See, I don't know that. I didn't know that.
Please continue.
But I sent off a loan modification contract yesterday morning through FedEx. We signed them to keep the house afloat, keep from losing it. I'm still continuing to make the payments on the property. If not, I would lose everything, my whole life savings. And then, like I said, I got in some legal trouble back in May. And I was incarcerated in Polk County for a couple months. So I was totally ghosted out of everything. And when I was released and went into a sober living home, I started getting mail after I had my forwarding address to my home now. And I found out that it was going into foreclosure, and I caught it within like 4 or 5 days before it actually was foreclosed on. So I've done everything in my means. I can't do it anymore. I mean, you know, I can't keep paying $1,085 a month child support, a mortgage payment. Plus, we have to pay $600 a month at Onyx Sober Living Place. It's an awesome Christian living home. I have to pay $600 a month there on top of gas and food. And I'm trying to get steady work, and it's like, which this is coming through good too. But anyways, I just can't do it anymore financially. I mean, if it wasn't for God keeping me strong in my mind, I don't know. I would have lost it even worse than what I did back the last year and a half over this divorce. All I want is what I believe I deserve and what I have invested in the material things that's there now on the property and the home. And that's not even counting the things I've lost over the 17 years being married to her.
Okay, Miss Ainley, this is not your time for testimony. You will get time to testify and to provide your own evidence for the court. This is your time to provide or to ask questions of Mr. Ainley as it relates to his evidence and his testimony to the court. Do you have questions for Mr. Ainley?
Yes, I do.
You may begin.
When did you purchase this stuff? Because a lot of it, you never had when we were married.
And I'm going to state for the record, by stuff, you're referring to what he has listed in.
Oh yeah, like a DeWalt cordless drill combo. $900. Really? Where'd this come from?
I purchased that one.
I've got plenty of witnesses.
Should have brought them with you.
Oh, I should have.
I purchased those, that DeWalt cordless skill saw drill, hammer drill set with a sawzall in it. I purchased that in Nashville, Tennessee when we moved down there when I started my remodeling business. We owned property down there at the time also. I believe I purchased that at a Lowe's building center, to my knowledge. Yes.
I have nothing more to say. It's just, I don't even know what to say.
All right. Now, if you don't have any other questions for Mr. Ainley, this is your opportunity to provide your own testimony to the court and your own evidence to the court as it relates to this matter. You may
Do
begin.
you want a copy of what Commissioner said on the 10th of October?
I will have it in my file
Okay.
if that's what you're asking. I can take judicial notice of that. Let me get to,
Because that has what his lawyer added up on what I have to give him.
Ms. Ainley, I'm not hearing anything to contradict anything that Mr. Ainley has told me with regards to the property. I don't have any contradictory evidence. I don't have,
I don't know what I can give you.
Ms. Ainley, I told you exactly what to give me on November 8th. I said I need pictures, I need testimony, I need things. You have a cell phone, you have a camera, pictures. You could have brought pictures and said, look, Judge, not damaged, still working. That's exactly what I told you to do. I told both of you I needed evidence. You needed to come here prepared, except you're coming and you're saying, it's all there, it's fine. But I'm hearing testimony that's saying it's not fine. I'm seeing pictures where it's not fine. And quite honestly, Miss Ainley, I hear testimony and I see things that show you're not credible. I believe you're not credible.
Okay.
I fully believe you forged his name.
No, ma'am.
I fully believe you forged
And
his
how
name.
would I do it?
Hi, pen. Hi, paper. Let's write Tim Ainley.
No.
I'm not blind. I can see.
Well,
and
maybe
I've
we should have someone
taken
look at it then.
judicial notice. I've been doing this job a long time. I look at your signature on 2 documents
Yes.
where you've signed.
Look at his.
I have. It's
I
not
don't-
his signature.
It's not mine.
Miss Ainley, the more you talk, the more you're digging your hole.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm telling you.
I strongly encourage you not to, because this is all taken down
Okay.
and this is a transcript and the district attorney can get this transcript.
Okay, that's fine. Because I don't have anything to hide. I don't. I would have plenty of witnesses, but you didn't want kids here.
I said bring witnesses,
I wouldn't put my kids through it.
and I think that that is the best thing that you could do
That's who I had.
as a mother, because quite honestly, that was a terrible,
It was.
awful thing that happened at that other
So by
hearing.
not bringing them, I have no credibility. So just order what you're
No.
gonna. Order what you're gonna. I just want it done. I want.
If either of you put your children in the middle, you are awful parents.
That's why they're not here. That's why I have no witnesses. Because all I had was my kids.
No, you don't. Miss Ainley,
Yes, it was. It was.
you can stop crying because tears,
I'm not crying because of that.
again,
You're
telephone.
not listening.
You're not listening. Stop crying. Stop that. Telephone pictures say 1,000 words. Stop it. This
order
boo-hoo,
what you're gonna-
cry means nothing.
Okay.
See? No tears. Nothing.
Oh, I got none now.
I know, because they're not real.
He really tried to manipulate the judge with fake tears after getting caught in multiple lies, desperately trying to escape the mess she created. But the judge wasn't fooled for a second. Not only did she see right through the ACT, but she also called her out directly.